Chief Scientist of CRRI to please come on the dais. And I would also invite Mr. P. Srinivas, Director, School of Engineering and Technology, IGNOU, who's going to co-chair this session, to please come on the dais. I would also invite the eminent speakers of this session, Mr. Chao Bhartiya, IDSE, DCWE, to please come on the dais. I invite Mr. S.C. Umar, IDSE, Director Design and Chief Engineer, Air Force, Udhampur. I invite Shri Kapil Verma, IDSE, and I invite Ms. Kiran Gajrani, IDSE, Garrison Engineer Utility, Delhi Cant. There's an important announcement. Firstly, I would like to request everyone to kindly again keep their mobiles in silent mode. And for the information of all, certificate of participation would be given to all delegates, 16 GB pen drive and the souvenir, and the same can be collected after the technical session is over from the outside lounge where we had our tea this morning. Hand over the stage to the chairperson of this session for further conduct of the session. I would also request to kindly stick to the timings as we are already delayed by almost half an hour.
Currently working as executive engineer for providing uninterrupted electric supply to the complete Delhi cantonment. I request her to make a presentation, and please restrict yourself to about 10 minutes.
Good morning all. I am here to give a experience which I have gained in last approximate 2 years, that MES as a DISCOM in Delhi, an overview. This is the presentation layout. I will be covering all these aspects in next 5 to 6 minutes. If we see that how MES in Delhi becomes the DISCOM, it dates back to year 2000, when Delhi Assembly passed the Delhi Electricity Reform Bill. And before that, Delhi Vidyut Board was working as a state electricity board, as occurs in different stations. The mother organization of Delhi Vidyut Board was DESU, and this was the integrated utility involved in generation, transmission and distribution for the complete Delhi except NDMC area and the MES Delhi Kent. So historically, if we see 8-9 years back, MES was working, taking the supply from Delhi Vidyut Board through the CMDA, which 99.99% occurs in other military stations and Kent areas. This is the government directive given in 1999, that how we have to proceed for becoming the deemed licensee. Set up a regulatory commission. It was formed on the same lines of as Central Electricity Regulatory Commission. So in Delhi, it was formed Delhi Electricity Regulatory Commission. Unbundling of Delhi Vidyut Board into generation, transmission and distribution facilities. Disinvestment of distribution network and protection of the staff of Delhi Vidyut Board. For that, a tri-party agreement was made between the Delhi government, Delhi Vidyut Board and its employees. After coming into force this DER on 11th March 2001, MES became one of the DISCOM. Remaining four are there: NDMC, BRPL, BYPL and TPDDL. They are looking the different area of the Delhi geographically. So with these lines, another agency comes, that is the DTL, Delhi Transco Limited, which is responsible for the transmission activities in the complete Delhi. And also having one other assignment, that is the DTL is also working as a state load dispatch center. And the policy directions were given 6 years time from this 2002 to 2007, that all the legal and implementation will be done in this 6 years. So from 2007, MES got deemed licensee status. I would like to mention here that deemed licensee means we didn't pay any money at the time when we got the status, nor we are paying any money to maintain the status, while the remaining 3 private companies are paying to the government. If we look at the power allocations and agreements, DERC approved the allocation of 50 megawatt from Badarpur Thermal Power Station, which is the 7% of the total installed capacity. The total installed capacity of this plant is 705 megawatt. and its 7.02% will come out 50 megawatt. So we are having the share of 50 megawatt. The unit comprises 3 units of 95 megawatt and 2 units of 210 megawatt. But if we go into the depth, we can say that this is the old coal-based plant of NTPC, which is not a reliable and economical source, because it's 3 into 95, 3 units have already shut down. And remaining 1 unit, that is 210 units, it gets frequent tripping. So MES made a request to the government that if this source is not reliable, kindly give us another source. So government allocate us 25 megawatt of power from PPCL Bhavana. This Bhavana is a gas-based plant and its allocation of gas is from KG6 basin. This is 1.82% allocation of the installed capacity, which is 1371 megawatt, and the unit comprises is 4 units of 216 and 2 units of 253. One another agreement for the transmission, how the electricity will come at the entry bus bar of MES, that is BPTA with DTL, and DTL is providing us the transmission corridor and raise the bills according to the infrastructure used by us. Becoming DISCOM in Delhi, although it was a compulsory given thing from the government to us, that brings lot of challenges. We took these two BPTAs running the show, but what are those challenges? I am summarizing those. Actually, whatever allocation we are having from this BTPS plant is 40 years old. So according to CERC guideline, any coal and lignite plant is for 25 years. So we have been burdened with a unreliable and not economical source. So all these things are burdening the MES. Further, the coal allocation for this Badarpur thermal power is from eastern region. So whatever transportation cost of coal comes, that also added in the cost. Further compounded that the eastern region coal is not of good quality. So whatever poor quality factors coming, that also increasing the cost for the MES. This is a small table which is showing that how BTPS variable cost has increased from rupees 2.83 to 4.83. This is the 70% increase in the variable cost. And the tariff you can see from 4.34 to 6.04, because tariff is being decided by DERC. Another source, which is PPCL, it is a good new source having good efficiency, but the thing is that gas is not available. So the capacity of the plant is 1371, but from last 2 to 3 years record is that this plant is working only on 30 to 40% plant load factor. However, we are burdened with the fixed cost of 1371 megawatt. So this is a big, this mega generation facility suffers with heavy fixed costs and in turn giving the burden to the MES. If we look at this, how energy security is being ensured for this, we are having both the PPAs, both the generation PPAs comes out to be 75, 50 from one source, 25 from other source, but that's not the actual case. Actual case is whatever is the generation on that day, we will be getting the 7.02 and 2% of that day. And how units will be run on a particular day, that will be decided by the SLDC. SLDC will accumulate the demands of all the beneficiaries and run the generating plant. And if the other generation and other beneficiaries does not give the demand, that plant will not run. So ideally, if we speaking, I have given you the picture that 4 plant out of 5 of BTPS are not working. So we have always facing the problem. The same I have told you that coal supply is by rail, which is of interruption. For this, we have given the presentation to the LG that our allocation should be fixed from present this to 56.85 as our demand, peak demand goes to 45 megawatt. So why to burden MES with unnecessary giving the more demand in advance? Commercial losses, huge disparity between what we give tariff to the government and what we recover from our users. So that recovery from the paid users or non-paid users is to be ensured very seriously. We are proposing this day ahead scheduling demand will be 24/7 monitoring, establish the SCADA control centers, and energy conservation initiative has to be initiated in the Kent. So the main initiative which have been taken, that conventional light is to be changed with LED through EESL model, switching off of lights after 10 o'clock, giving these different circuits, replacement of old age 40 years old with star rated equipments, and demand side management. We are doing this water supply pumps which are operated in the evening time. We are requested to operate in the non-peak hours, that is the afternoon time, so that peak demand after 6 o'clock is reduced. Monitoring, we are giving the good monitoring by installing the meters, and special impetus is given for the revenue collection, especially from the bulk consumers. As we are supplying the bulk energy, we are giving monthly billing now and ensuring that revenue comes to us. Air Force used to allot as 1 crore, 10 crore or not more than 10 crore in a financial year. And right now we have raised the recovery of 80 crore. In 45 crore is the last 2 years recovery, and they have agreed to pay us. Solar PV generation, we are doing a small projects for the ENC's branch for providing the 100 kilowatt solar rooftop project, which will be getting 60% subsidy from MNRE. And conclusion is that when MES is going for the agreement, we have to study the project. What is the project? How it will give the return? And we should not go as our general tendency is to increase. Whatever requirement we are having today, we should stick to it, because the market is fluctuating and dynamic, and that will give you the electricity whenever you want. There is no need to involve in 25 years long-term agreement, which will give us the repercussion in terms of economically. Thank you.
Thank you, madam, for your presentation.